Hey guys, welcome to the training tonight. We are going to rock this. We've realized that there is a system that we can create to create massive duplication within our business. What I'm about to share with you guys literally can explode your team, even if you don't have a single sign up right now, or maybe you feel stuck, or maybe you need 20 people to be able to hit your next rank by Monday. You can do it utilizing this system. Okay, now you should already know what PS3 is. We're not going to talk about that tonight. And if you need training on that, make sure you watch a video on what PS3 is before you try to implement what I'm about to talk to right now. So let's say you're brand new. Okay, I'm going to talk about the person that is inviting to a webinar, trying to hit a rank right now, and mostly our newest people, but yes, even those that are veterans, but you're going to utilize three-way calls, right? You need to actually think this stuff through, exactly how I'm going to say this. This is not something that you can kind of do it and do it your own way. You've got to do it exactly like I tell you, and then you can adjust it as needed. Okay, but there's a reason why I'm going to give you the exact setup on how to do this. So guys, PS3, we're inviting people to watch a tool. What is a tool? Okay, the tool is usually a webinar. Okay, they're going to go online and they're going to watch a Zoom call, right? And somebody's going to present, or we're going to invite them to watch a video, right? We already know that that's PS3. Now, when we're inviting to the video or the webinar, we're getting them to commit to a time, right? Let's say the webinar is at 7 p.m. Hey, Bob, listen, there's a project that I'm launching. I'm very excited about it. If I sent you the information, would you commit to getting on at 7 p.m.? They say, yes. Awesome. Here is the link. By the way, after the webinar call, we're going to get on this link and you send them the information to that. And so we can connect and I can answer questions for you. Three-way call. When you invite people to the webinar, when you invite people to watch a video, immediately set up a three-way call with them. Okay, and I'm going to explain what that means. So you do PS3, watch that training separately, you invite them to a webinar or a video, and immediately when they commit, not only do you send them the information for whatever you're using, whether it's the webinar or the video, but you're going to automatically assume, don't ask, that they're going to get on a three-way call with you. They may not even know it's a three-way call. Doesn't matter. Invite, they watch a webinar or a video, and they also got sent the information with a time where they're going to get on a separate call to get their questions answered. Now, how does this all work out? When the person's watching the webinar and the video, they're going to get all the information they need. But you, as the person inviting, already spoke to another leader in the organization. Now, who are some leaders that I can think of off the top of my head? Myself, Greg, Mariano, Tommy Ooze, Flo, Katie, Elaine, Brandon, Amberly, okay, Brenda, okay? These are all people that are already skilled enough to be able to do what I call closing calls. And we're going to talk about closing calls because you see, right now, we're experiencing growth because we're doing this system. But momentum's going to hit when you develop your skill set as a closing leader, a person that can close a three-way call. You see, the webinar is where the information goes out. But if you do not do a three-way call, that's like shooting without a target. You're not going to hit anything, right? I could put 100 people on a webinar, and if there wasn't a follow-up sequence already set up, they just go back to their normal life. Man, that was great information. Let me go cook my chicken wings. That's literally people's psychology. So they're going to watch the webinar, but they should already know, I've got a call with Hayden after. I got a call with Caleb after. I got a call with Eliza after. And what they're going to do is they're going to go from the webinar to that three-way call automatically. It's already scheduled. Now, is everybody going to get on the follow-up call? No, but you should already have it scheduled. If you have 5 people watching the webinar, you should have 5 three-way calls scheduled, right? And do them about 20 minutes apart, right? You could, I was doing them at 30 minutes, but I realized there's not a whole lot of time. And then what happens is after the webinar, it's like we're slammed. So I would do them 15 to 20 minutes apart with your leader. So invite to the webinar. When you invite to the webinar, they say yes, talk to a leader, P600 and above can do this, okay? And then set up a time with them after the call to be able to do a three-way call with your person. Okay, now listen to this. When you're telling them, hey, listen, right after the call, we're gonna get on this separate link. Try to get that link from your leader ahead of time. Get the time solidified and the commitment from your leader that they're gonna do a three-way call with you ahead of time, right? When you send them that link, or don't say something like this. This is an error that a lot of people make. Do you wanna get on a call with my mentor? Don't ask them that. You don't need to ask them that. That's unnecessary. And listen, guys, here is a psychology of sales. You're never going to say yes or no, right? It's like, I'll give you this example. Imagine that you walk on a car lot to buy a car. You're in the parking lot and you're looking at different cars. Have you ever heard a car salesman say, hey, do you want to buy a car today? No, you've never heard that, right? Because they assume if you're in the parking lot to look at cars, you want a car. They just got to help you figure out which one works, which payment, which color, what type. That's what they're there for. So they're going to watch the webinar. That means they're open. They want to learn more. They're open to making more money. So don't ask them, do you want to get on a three-way call? They never say that. No. Hey, right after, we're going to get in on this call. If they ask you about why, hey, I want to get your questions answered. Okay, boom. They get on the call. If in the conversation, hey, my mentor is going to be there because they know maybe that you don't know a whole lot, you're just getting started. Yeah, you can say, hey, my mentor will be there. They're very, very busy, but they put some time aside to meet you, okay? So you get that commitment nice and tight. But again, always assume it. Don't ask them, hey, do you want to get on a three-way call? No. Hey, I talked to my mentor. They actually want to meet you. You see what I'm saying? It's encouraging, it's positive, it's exciting, it's fun, it's friendship. Get on that three-way call, okay? Invite to the webinar, have the three-way call scheduled, confirm the time with your leader, give them the link of where the three-way call is going to go, and then as soon as the webinar is over, you send them the message, hey, we're getting on the call. Don't give them time to hesitate. Hey, we're getting on the call. 80% of people are going to get on that three-way call, okay? Now, when you get on that three-way call, this is very, very important. If you are the person inviting the person to a webinar or a three-way call, doesn't matter what rank you are. Sometimes I'm this person because I'm getting a person on a call with the chairman. This is all you have to do. You get them on that three-way call. You introduce each other. Remember, these people don't know each other. You're going to introduce your friend to the leader. Hey, this is Tom. Tom, I told him that I was launching a project. I told him about making money online. I told him whatever it is you told him. And he got on the call. He was excited, but he had some questions. Listen, Tom works here. Tom does this. I know Tom from there. Give a little bit of information, not too much. Definitely don't do this mistake. Tom is an amazing leader. He makes $700,000 a year. He's in corporate America. He's a CEO. Don't do that. Talk a little bit about the guy, positive things, so that your leader knows who he is, and then you talk up who the leader is. Man, this is Katie. She trains people all around the world. She's a Platinum 2000 in this company. She's doing amazing. Yes, edification. And you want to talk highly about the leader, talk a little bit about the invitee to the three-way call, talk highly of the leader, give the leader leverage so that this person respects them. Say things like they don't even have a lot of time. They're super busy, but they made time to meet you so that they know we're giving of our time to them, right? Leverage your leader, introduce them to your person that you invited, and then here is the magic trick. Who's ready for it? You be quiet. You be quiet. The person that invites a person to a three-way call should barely talk on the three-way call, right? After you do the introduction, after you edify the leader, be quiet. Your job is done. Like, give yourself one of those little stars that you got in elementary school. You're done. You don't have to do anything else. Now it's on the leader. Here are a couple of things that we've experienced trip-ups. You edify the leader starts talking, the leader already has a game plan, and you interrupt the leader. You think you're helping, but you're creating stumbling blocks because you haven't learned yet certain things to not say. Or you're talking about things and you're not letting the leader bring the thing to a closing sequence. And so you're derailing. So here's what you do. You did a great job at getting them at the webinar. Fantastic, man. You're amazing. You did a great job there. You did a phenomenal job if you got them on the three-way call. You're freaking crushing it. And then if you did a good edification and introduction, you are a superstar invitee, superstar. And now remain quiet, okay? Your job's done, great job, okay? And then you pass the baton to your leader. If this is making sense, okay, drop a 222 in the chats if this is making sense. And then if you have a question, drop the question real quick. Okay, again, this is from the perspective of a person inviting to the three-way call. I know I did see a question earlier. When do we send them the three-way call link? You know, here's the thing. Part of me is like, man, don't send them 2 links at once. It creates confusion. So something that you can do is send them the webinar link, confirm the time. Hey, we're going to get on a call right after at 7:30 p.m. with my leader. You don't have to say that if it doesn't fit, but webinar link. Hey, at 8 o'clock, we're going to get on this other call just so we can get your questions answered. And then you can wait till the webinar is running and they're on it so you don't confuse them, and then send them the link. It might be weird to send 2 links at the same time. But all I want you to do, I don't care when you send them the link. What I care about is that you confirm and commit that they're going to get on the three-way call before the webinar, not after. Statistically speaking, you'll lose over 50% of your potential traders because you waited until after the webinar to set up the three-way call. Okay? That was a good question. And then Amberly says, make sure your phone is muted. Listen, once you do the introduction and you edify your leader, stay quiet, but stay engaged. And what do I mean by that? Look at the computer, smile, nod your head when the guy says something good. Encourage the conversation, lift it up, but don't interrupt. Don't talk about something else, okay? So I hope that makes sense, all right? Perfect. Now, you pass the baton to the leader. Now, what does the leader do? Now, if you're a leader here, I want you to really pay attention to this, okay? And if you're not a leader here yet, I need you to develop into this. And this is why. The more people that we have that can follow this formula to a T, the more that this team will grow at a fast rate. So right now, there's about 10 or 12 of us that could really do these closing calls. But what we really need from you is for you to develop into a person that could also close these calls for the team as well. And the more that we can do this, guys, the faster that all of us get to ranks, okay? So here's what happens. Now you're a leader. Before you were the person inviting, but now you're the leader of the call. You're the closer of the call. You got the person, your teammate got you onto this call with this person, and now it's on you. I'm going to give you now the basic formula on how to get through this call and get it to what I call a closing sequence, right? You're going to begin to close this call to get the person started, or you're going to find out if they're not qualified, or you're going to find out if they need another exposure. See, write this down. There's only 3 outcomes for the leader on this call. Only 3. Number 1, they get started. We already understand that. Number 2, this is not for them. Number 3, it's not the right time because of money or they haven't seen enough information. There's only 3 outcomes, and all 3 are okay. This is very important. If they get started, that's amazing. We love that. If they don't get started because it's not for them, we also like that because, listen, there's nothing worse than forcing somebody to do something that's not for them. And third, if it's not the right time, I know you didn't get them to start, but guess what? That's okay. I didn't start the first time I saw the information. It was about a week. I actually heard about it. I literally had to beg Mike Sotero for information, okay? And then it was weeks later, I got to a Starbucks event, a Starbucks meeting with him. I still didn't sign. And then a week later, I went to a hotel event. And then I had to beg for the link from the guy to give it to me. And then later that night, I registered myself. Now, there's a lot of things that didn't go right in that closing sequence, but I knew I wanted this. But we're going to help people make sure that they don't get lost. I'm going to repeat those 3 for Sunny. I saw Sunny was asking, okay? Here's how it works. There's only 3 outcomes of a 3-way call. And every leader needs to know this. And if you're the person inviting, you need to know this as well. Number 1, they got started. best possible outcome, right? We're excited, a new trader on the team, new trader alert. We're going to get them on their products launched, and maybe they want to invite some people. It's an exciting thing. Number two, this just wasn't for them. They had a negative mindset. They said, hey, it's too much to learn, or, it's just not for me in this season. I got a job and I got kids, and whatever reason, they say no. And listen, no is just not now. Make sure you follow up. So either they get started, they don't get started, or they like everything, but it's not the right time because they need to figure out their money, or they need to get more information. So if a person truly likes this, there are times that they just don't have enough information. They haven't seen it enough times yet. Or they really, really want to do this, but they got to figure out the money to get started with. Both of those are genuine things of why people don't do this right away. Write them down and never forget about them or reject them. And even if somebody says no, don't get angry, guys. Listen, please, especially as a leader, never get emotional when people decide not to start with you, because they may change their mind in 3 months. They may change their mind in 6 months. It's just how it is. Time changes everything, right? So we already spoke about the person inviting, and now we've spoken about the leader, and we understand that the leader has 3 basic things they're trying to do: get them started, figure out if they're not the right type of person, or figure out if they need a follow-up exposure. Okay? So now the leader starts talking. You as the leader, here's how you open up every conversation. Number 1, connect with the person. If the person is in a city you visited, talk about that. If they're from a country you know about, connect, man, Paris is beautiful. Man, I've always wanted to go to Canada. Man, I love New York, right? Connect with the person. Maybe they went to a certain college that you know about. Whatever you could think of. Chairman Mike Sotero, he uses sports teams. So if he knows the sports team in your city, he connects with that. Find a connecting point with a person and be relational. Okay? Now, after you connect, you don't need to spend a lot of time there. After you connect, here is what you say. So, you saw the information. What did you like the most from what you saw? Very simple. What did you like the most from what you saw? You didn't ask them, what did you think? That's a major error. As a leader, never ask somebody after they watch a webinar, what did they think? Most people's thoughts are negative. Ask them, what did you like the most? Recently, I had a 3-way call, and I was told that the person was going to be very, very negative, especially because he found out that we do certain ways that we market. The way that the platform is marketed, had a very negative review on it, right? But guess what? I got on the call. I asked the guy what he liked the most, and he never mentioned anything negative. And he's probably going to get started soon, right? So when a person gets on the call, the person that invited does the edification, you connect, simply ask them, what did you like the most from what you saw? Okay? Now, big mistake some people do. Number 1, do not. Guys, listen, I know some of your teams, they do things differently. They do the presentation on a one-on-one basis. Everybody's different. I do not do that. And I did that mistake early on. They're going to watch a video or they're going to watch a webinar. And the only time that I'll ever do a one-on-one presentation is if a person is like, a superstar leader at a very high level. Okay. And and I do a one-on-one presentation with them because, I want to give them that time and attention. But for most common people, guys, do not spin your wheels here. Get them on the webinar or get them on a video and then do a 3-way call. On the 3-way call, we're going to go through the products and stuff anyways if they need to see it. But I was on a call earlier today. The person speaks Spanish. The person put them on an English webinar. The Spanish person didn't understand anything. I'm not going to sit there and try to close this person. This person doesn't even know what I'm doing. What did I say? Hey, why don't you watch the Spanish video and we'll get back on a call in a little bit. Guys, systems stand for save yourself energy, time, and money, right? Save yourself time, energy, and money. Yes, system. Okay, follow the steps. There's a system. Get them on the webinar, get them on the video, have a 3-way call already scheduled, introduce, edify, the leader connects and says, what did you like the most from what you saw? They're going to start talking about whatever they like the most, okay? You as a leader, you're now going to connect with whatever that person is saying. Man, I love the products too. Oh, yeah, listen, residual income is what it's about. Whatever they talk about, that's what you talk about. Here's a common leadership mistake. You get nervous. And so you start talking about random things you don't need to talk about. So for instance, if they love trading and the products, don't start talking about marketing and recruiting. If they love marketing and recruiting, don't start talking about pips and Fibonacci, okay? You're gonna scare people. Focus on what they like, because when they come into the system, that's what they're gonna actually be doing anyways. We're never gonna force a person that doesn't wanna market to market, nor are we gonna focus a person that wants to market to be the best trader. We're gonna tell them use swipe trade, swipe coin, use a product, right? So find the person where they're at, connect, relate, and find out what their needs are. Why do they want to do this? Sometimes, guys, I'll ask people, hey, so what are your goals? What are your goals in this? Hey, so if you did this, why would you want to do this? Like, dig a little deeper, right? I heard Brandon Boyd, Chairman 50, amazing, amazing leader. He said, I saw one of you guys presenting the other day, and it frustrated me because you guys only talk about the products. Listen, we've got great products. But it doesn't matter unless the person knows why it can help them. Swipe Trades is amazing. They send trades to your phone, and they've got this, and they've got Gold Cup and Forex and $5 trillion. That don't mean nothing. Hey, bro, this can get you out of working that job you hate. Hey, man, this can put your kids through college. Hey, man, you could retire 10 years earlier. Hey, bro, you're going to be able to do things for your church. Hey, bro, you're going to be able to fund your music. You got to figure out why people need this. Fit some of that into the conversation. So leader, ask what they like the most, connect with what they said, and then, did you have any questions for me? Open up, say, hey, did you have any other questions? Anything pending that, as you saw the information, any questions that you may have that maybe I could answer for you. Boom, 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 right? You get to the final stage. You could do all of this within about, 15, 20 minutes, okay? Some of you guys are doing hour-long three-way calls, and then they don't even get started. You could do all of this within 15, 20 minutes. When you get to the end here, you ask them, do you have any questions? Yes, I do. You answer that question. Hey, did you have any other questions? They had another question. You answered that question. You want to get through every question that they had. And now it's that awkward moment of like, okay, well, what's next? Again, if you invited to the call, you still keep your mouth shut here, right? Unless the leader asks you a question like, Eric, so, your experience or whatever, but if they don't acknowledge you guys, if you invited, you stay quiet. Now, as a leader, when you answered every question, if they were positive, if you connected, if they're excited, now there's this awkward moment of, okay, how do I transition this to the closing sequence is what I'm going to call it. Well, it's very simple, so this is my magic question. You guys ready for it? Did you understand the process of how to get started? They're positive. They like it. Here's the magic question. Here's how you go from regular conversation to now you're becoming a closer and you're taking them into the closing sequence to get them started. Did you understand the process of how to get started? They either say yes, or they say no, or they say, actually, I don't know. And then you say, awesome. Well, listen, there's actually a link that Mo's going to send you, and it actually takes you to a registration form. Hey, Mo, have you sent them that link yet? Nah, man, I didn't send it yet, man. I didn't send them the link. No problem. Hey, Mo, not a big deal. Hey, Mo, can you send that link over to them? Yeah, sure. Hey, are you on your computer right now? Yeah, I'm on Zoom on my computer. Listen, Mo is going to send you the link through the chat right now. And all I want you to do is click that button. So Mo's going to go into the chat box and he's going to put his registration link. By the way, if you don't know your registration link, you should always have it before a three-way call. But if you don't know it, here's a simple formula. IM.academy/your username. Can somebody put that in the chat? IM.academy/your username. That's your link. And so when you're on this three-way call, leader, you connected. You found out if they had any questions. You found out what they liked the most. They've been super, super positive. Then you say, hey, do you understand the process of how to get started? And they say, I do. And you say, awesome. So what did you think about that? You're just trying to get closer and closer and closer. And then they may say something like, well, I saw the packages, so how do the packages work? They ask you a question like that, they're ready to get started. How did the packages work? Well, one for 235 and one for 325. Which one do you think suits you better? How do the packages work? There's one for 235, there's one for 325. Which one do you think suits you better? Guys, I'm talking to the leaders. Leaders. They're going to say, you know, I like the elite, you know, but do I really need it? Nah, man, you don't even really need it. I mean, you can get it later. You can upgrade to it. Listen, the 235 is great. We can start you with that and work your way up. Now, listen, I've had people fight me and then I say, no, you know what? Get the elite. And then you can downgrade later, right? Find out where they're at. 235, 325. Which one do you like best? 235. Awesome. Cool. Mo, send the link. Mo sends the link. If Mo doesn't know the link, leader, here's what you say. Mo, don't worry about it. What's your username? Okay, boom. You're going to go and you're going to type iam.academy / the username. You're going to send it to the person right in the chat box, right in the Zoom. And then they're going to click it. And guess where they're going to go? To the website. And then here's what I do, guys. I go ahead and I share my screen. And I go, all right, Mr. Client, are you on the screen right now? Okay, awesome. Well, listen, you should be seeing something like this right now on your screen. Do you see that? Do you see that on my screen? Yeah. Now, if they're on their phone, they're not going to be able to see it. Okay? But if they're on their computer, they'll be able to see it. Boom. And now you're looking at your screen. You're the person inviting is looking at the screen. Guess what your prospect is doing? He's looking at the screen too. And he has the link. And then you say, okay, look, here's what you're going to do. You see this little button that says getting started. You're going to click it. And then you're just going to scroll all the way to the bottom. And you see where it says join today. Just click that button for me. Where did it take you? Oh, I see this form. Oh, okay, cool. It looks like this, right? This will already be there if you send them the right link. You see this form, right? Yeah, I see the form. Okay, cool. Just fill in your basic information right there. They're going to fill in the basic information right there. Okay, boom, done. Am I an IBO or a customer? Oh, I'm a customer. Okay, you're going to register as a customer. Username, what is that? Oh, well, listen, you can put whatever you want there. Usually, I just do first name, last name, but if there's a business name or a nickname you like, create a password. Okay, cool. Okay, now what about these packages? I see a lot of packages. Well, listen, do you want the elite or the platinum? If they said the platinum already, they're going to scroll down. They're going to click the platinum. And they're going to go down. Hey, make sure you click the platinum twice. Okay, yeah, cool. Platinum twice, boom. All right, now listen, how are you going to pay for this? You know, we use Visa, MasterCard. Oh, you don't have American Express? Nah, man, unfortunately, we don't have American Express, but we can take Visa or MasterCard. Okay, no problem. Boom, they do a Visa, MasterCard. Now they put in their information. Big deal. Whatever name is on that card has to line up with whatever name they're registering under. But Steve Max, they don't have a card. Then we got to figure out something else out. Their husband has a card. Okay, register the account under the husband's name then. And then come down here and use the husband's card and then sign up under the husband's name. It's the only thing you could do, okay? Boom. What if they have a Wells Fargo card? Wells Fargo, we don't accept Wells Fargo debit cards. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna click MaxiCash. It's gonna take them to another website and you can use a Wells Fargo card there. We didn't always have that availability, okay? So Visa, MasterCard, Wells Fargo cards, they're going to use MaxiCash. Can they use a Cash App card? They cannot use a Cash App card. It will not accept it. Okay. I've heard some stuff like, you know, Cash App has a way that you could do something called Safety Pay and use the bank routing and checking number. That's a possibility. All right. If you're a leader, you should also have a way to sign up with cryptocurrency. Every person here, if you're a Platinum 150 or above, you should already have your Bitcoin accounts ready. If it's in Cash App, register yourself, send in your license so that you can buy and send Bitcoin. Okay, gotta get that thing done. If not, you can do this, Coinbase.com. All right, go to Coinbase.com, you're gonna buy the crypto, and then if they don't have any way to sign up with a card, you're not gonna quit. You're gonna then use Bitcoin. They're gonna send you the money, you're gonna buy the Bitcoin, and you're gonna send it here. By the way, if this is the first time you ever have to do this, don't do this alone. Contact me, contact Katie and Elaine, contact Greg, contact Tommy. We're all experts on how to do this. We've had to do this a million times, okay? Now, here's a big thing. Here's a big deal I wanna mention to you guys, okay? As a leader, do not get off the call until the person's registered. Unless the person tells you that they're not going to register tonight because of whatever reason, or, they need more information, then, you get off. But if you're a leader, you stay on that call until that thing's done. The person that is on the call with you, they probably can't get that person started. If not, they probably wouldn't have needed the three-way call. Your job as a leader is to stay there until it's done. Don't get off the call and be like, all right, guys, great job. Go ahead, Mo, sign the guy up. I mean, if Mo's never registered anybody before, he's going to either mess up on the name in the card, he's going to mess up on the payment info, the guy's going to talk him out of it, right? And it's so leader, you stay on the call. The most important person in the world right now is the person that's on that call with you. Make sure they get registered. Make sure that they know how to log into their center. Get them in the game. Get them started. Get them going. This is why you're here as a leader. This is why the company pays you P600, P2000, Chairman money, is to help these people get started, okay? So very, very important. Now, I want to add a couple of tad bits of information here, and then we're going to go on and I'll answer some questions before we get off. Okay, very, very important. The person started. You took them through the sequence. You said, hey, do you understand how to get started? They say, I don't. You explain it and you get them started. They say, I do understand how to get started. You say, awesome, do you have the link? And then you get them started, right? Whatever way you get them started, cool. Second thing, they're not the right type of person. Bad attitude, didn't like the information, ain't for them. You got off the call soon. And something you can add to the end of the bad calls is, do you know anybody that you think may benefit from this information? Ask for a referral. Why not? Maybe they'll lead you to a superstar. Oh yeah, my boy Tom. Where's Tom at? Oh, Tom, I talked to him on Instagram. Hey, could you put me on a three-way chat with that guy? Just get a referral, man. Get a connection. Hey, it'll pay for your time. At least you got another lead. But here's what I want to focus on. Number 3. This is where we miss the boat, guys, a lot of times. A lot of people ain't going to be able to start right away. Some people ain't going to like it. But there's a majority of people that they just can't start at that moment. Here's what you do. You schedule the follow-up right then and there. You confirm the next time you're going to talk right then and there. Hey, listen, I know you can't start tonight. Or listen, I can just tell you need a little bit of more information. There's a webinar happening tomorrow at 3. There's a webinar happening tomorrow at 7. There's a video that I'm going to try to find, and I'll send it to you tomorrow. What time can you watch it, right? Hey, there's a leader that I want you to meet. Maybe it's a girl, connect them with a lady boss on the team. Maybe it's an older person, connect them with an older person on the team. Maybe it's a younger person, connect them with a younger person on the team. If the person didn't sign up on the 3-way call, but they're interested, that's a great thing. Get them on another exposure. Literally, I was just on a 3-way call. Massive opportunity. The guy has the money, but he wasn't ready because we were talking about binary options, HFX, and he hadn't seen an HFX presentation. So guess what? The person who got me on the 3-way call sent them a video that I have about binary options. And guess what? There's already a closing sequence set up for the next 24 hours for the guy to get started on the information. So if the person's not ready to start right away, guys, don't give up on that person. Continue to get them new information until they're ready, or they get their money situation together in order for them to be able to get started. All right. And the last thing I'll say is this, guys, little things like, look, if you become an IBO, that means you get paid, per sign up that you get. Listen, if somebody gets started, you get $25, right? It's $235 for somebody to get started. Man, give them $25. Be like, hey, bro, look, when you get started, they actually give me a little bonus. If you see that they're having a hard time with the money, there was a young guy, he's 18. I did a call with him for the Delaware team, but he has great personality. The kid wants it. He just got to figure out his money. I said, look, you get started, bro. I'm going to shoot $35 your way just to help you. It'll be $200 your first month. Does that help you? Yeah, it does help you. Boom, and now, this is for IBOs. If you're just going for 2 and free, you don't got to pay for people. Don't do all of that stuff. But, if you can help them with your little bonus, $25 to, get them started. I threw an extra 10 on mine. That's 35. It brings it down to 200. It'll help them. Something that I thought about that I want to give you guys a nugget of, which I do a lot. When I explain things to people, this is what I say. Does that make sense? You listen to me. They say, I don't understand marketing. I read the bad reviews and, and this and that. And then I explain it, and I explain it in gentleness and love, and I know what I'm talking about. And then I say, does that make sense? They're going to naturally say, 90% of the time, it does. And then they're going to talk. You see, you're helping guys. Listen, I want you to understand something. In the psychology of marketing, the psychology of sales, the psychology of leadership, you're helping people understand what you understand. That's it. Most people just don't understand. And they really need to understand because this can save and change their life. So here is a phrase that I use all the time. Does that make sense? So that I'm answering their question, but then I don't just stop. I say, does that make sense? You know, Hayden, you know, as I explained about Forex and, you know, how you can make money and, you know, does that make sense to you? You know, do you understand, you know, are you with me there? You know, you get it? Connect with them and ask them if it makes sense. And most people say, yeah. And now they're connecting with you and you can continue through the process. So guys, I'm going to kind of summarize everything that I've talked about for our recording here tonight. And then I'm going to open up to some questions. Okay. Whoever you are today, wherever you are, you should still do three-way calls. I don't care how good you are. I don't care what rank you're at. You should always get three-way calls done. If you're a leader, by the way, use three-way calls with your chairman, with your upline, but also with your downline. For instance, if I was Katie and Elaine, right, and I got somebody that I'm getting started, and I do a three-way call, and they don't get started right away, you know what I'll do? I'll do a three-way call with my downline. So for instance, if I'm going to place somebody in Brenda's team, I'll do a three-way call with Brenda. Hey, listen, you know what? There's somebody I want you to meet. You know, Brenda's an amazing leader. She's an amazing mom. I actually want to meet her tomorrow. Are you available at 2? I couldn't get the person started today for whatever reason, but maybe that person will connect with Brenda. I was going to place her on Brenda's team anyways. And now I do a three-way call with my downline, with a person in my organization. Boom, create the connection before they even start. When they start, Brenda now has a new teammate, leader, you're freed up. They've got a mentor. You connected them on a three-way call. Here's what I want to say to you guys. Everybody here who's ranked, never think that you're beyond the three-way call. That's something very important. But Steve Max, Steve Max, I close a lot of people on my own. Bad mistake. Every person that you close or get started should be plugged in with other leaders, number one. Also, your people will do what you do. So if you don't use three-way calls, neither will they. And even though you're good at what you do, most of your people will not be able to close people on their own. So if you're a leader that continues to, you know, get people started without three-way calls, I'll be very cautious, because as your people start to develop, they're going to think, man, I got to get this done by myself. No, guys, always utilize other teammates. And listen, maybe there's not another leader available at the time. Shoot, man, guys, if we're going to war, we're impacting people, we're growing this team, contact somebody else in the organization. You know, just, hey, man, there's nobody available. Will you do this call with me? Sure, we'll do it. And just freaking do it. Have fun with it. Don't take it so darn serious. Follow some of these steps and just get it done. So here's what I want to, you know, summarize. If you're the person inviting to the call, you're going to get them on a webinar. You're going to already schedule the three-way call for after the webinar. They're already going to know that they're going to get on a three-way call after the webinar. You're going to send them the link at some point while the webinar is happening or before the webinar, so they know at 8 o'clock they're getting on a three-way call. Say less, do not ask. Get them on that webinar. When they get on that webinar, your job as the person inviting is to encourage, connect, okay? And then you're going to introduce, hey, this is Bob, and this is my mentor, this is my leader. Bob, you know, this is my mentor. They're great. They've done this. They've done that. They've had massive success. Hey, leader, here's my friend. This is how I know them. Here's what we've spoken about, guys. Thank you for being on this call. The leader takes it away. The leader says, hey, you know, what did you know, connects with them a little bit. Hey, what did you like the most from what you saw? They're going to say what they did. Then you're going to say, hey, do you have any questions? And then they're going to ask the questions. You're going to keep saying, hey, do you have any questions, until they have no more questions left. If it went good, you're going to say, do you understand the process of how to get started? They're going to either say yes or no. And then eventually you're going to get them to the registration form page, and you're going to get them actually registered while you're still on the call with them. If you run into an issue that you cannot solve, you're going to reach out to myself or another leader in the organization, and nobody's going to get off that call until we resolve whatever issue that was. If you could not get the person registered at that time, okay, but they have a positive mental attitude, they like what they saw, your goal is to get them on another follow-up exposure to the information, which is either going to be another three-way call, another webinar, or another video, which will then lead to another three-way call. It's that simple. And the other three-way call is either going to be with the same leader, if that's what you spoke about, or another leader that you think that they can relate to. Guys, this team will grow massively by the amount of three-way calls that we do. After every webinar, it should be like the Super Bowl. There should be 30 three-way calls after every webinar, and today that happened twice. So if you look, I don't want you guys to overwork. I don't want you guys to burn bridges and burn contacts. For every person you invite, get them on a three-way call. That's going to be the best way to find out if they're the right fit for this. So guys, I hope that you've enjoyed this. I hope that you guys understand this. One key thing I wrote down that I want to mention: don't say too much. Don't keep talking and talking. Whether as the leader or as a person that invited somebody, guys, please do not keep talking and talking. Do not start talking about Gary Vee and Grant Cardone and the harmonic scanner with the steady scanner and the gold cup and the swipe trades with the with the pip talk and the guy was ready to get started, and now the guy is so confused. He's going to say, I just got to think about it. It's a lot of information. Guys, if somebody says it's a lot of information, you probably spoke too much. I've actually realized many times that I would just talk too much, and I've realized, man, the guy didn't ask me all that. The guy asked me one simple thing: answer the question and then say, hey, do you have any more questions for me? So guys, that's the simple formula. If you do this, you'll get your 2 and free, right? And by the way, most of this was for the leaders. For the person inviting, remember, you stop after you get the three-way call started. You ain't got nothing else to do. If the call doesn't close, it's not your fault. It's either the person wasn't right or it was the leader that didn't follow the steps right. But the pressure's off of you. And leader, guess what? Follow the steps. If the person doesn't start, you follow the steps, you don't have any pressure because it's a flawless system. The wrong people will be out. The right people will either start or go into another follow-up exposure. So guys, that's the formula to success. That's the art of the three-way call. And I've realized that this is the magic touch to grow any organization, starting with yours. Watch this video over and over again, because I believe that if you master this, you'll hit chairman. All right, guys. So listen, I'm going to stop.